Hello everybody and welcome to my third Q&A episode. I have a huge amount of questions that I've had over the last month where I apologise that I've been fairly inactive. I've been very busy with work and I've also been purchasing a house as well, so I should be moving in the next few weeks, which is exciting. I have a brand spanking new office, get some better recording equipment, get some more quality videos. For those of you who watched my new latest weekly hacks video, you'll know all this anyway, so I'm not going to blabber on too much, but thank you for all your questions and those time. Please keep them coming. I've been answering as many as I can, but the time has come where I just need to do a couple of videos and answer your questions. I've got 6 questions at the moment, so I'm going to just split them over 2 videos rather than do them all in one, because otherwise you'll fall asleep in between, and it's probably so will I. But anyway, let's jump in and start answering some people's questions. So my first question is from Christopher Benton, and let's just zoom in on this question a little bit. So just started out having a hard time understanding the hierarchy of procedures. In other words, how the hell can I use an if statement to do something other than an obsolete message box? I've already got this written here, so I'll delete this because this is the second time I've been recording this video, just because the first time I left my mic off, which was rather annoying. So for the second time, let's make a little test sub. So test sub, and let's write an if statement in here. So we're going to do, say, referencing some cells. So if this workbook dot sheet 1 dot cells 1, dot value equals if it equals nothing, and then we need to write then, and then we put an else, and then we put an end if, and anything in this section here, so runs if the if statement is true, and then anything in this one here runs if the if statement is false. And you've put, how can you do something other than an obsolete message box? Well, you can literally put anything in here, and if I was going to show you everything you could put in here, well, you may as well just watch all my VBA videos. Basically anything you can think of, any VBA that you know, can go in this section, and all this if statement up here is doing is just controlling where it goes. So it's going, is this true? If it is, then I'm just going to carry on here, and if it's not, I'm going to jump to here and I'm going to run this bit instead, and then after all that, it just carries on after your end if and just does whatever you want. And you can even put in another if statement, so you could put an if statement in here, and then it only checks this statement here if this one's true, and then it does this test. And you can put any code in there you want. So this is why we do the indents. This is why we have the little extra tabs here, because it just highlights the code that's inside each of your if statement clauses. But yeah, you're going to need to watch the other videos for other code that can go inside the if statements. There's no good learning if statements before you learn any other code, because they control the flow through your code, but if you don't know how to write the code in the first place, then there's no point controlling anything going through it. But yeah, hopefully that answers your questions. Any more, drop them in the comments for me. Thank you, Christopher Benton. Next up from Tetris12367, and thanks for letting me know this as well, and is for an assignment, because that's helpful to know for how I will answer the question. And you've asked about a database. You've given me your database details, which is really useful, thank you. And then, as you've said, the problem I have is the game has multiple platforms, i.e. PS3 for Xbox One, creating a relationship between platform ID in the platform table and platform in the stock table. When I go do this and go to the platform table, click on the small button on the left of the record, it doesn't show any relating information in the other table. And you give an example of what you've done. So you've said, I'm guessing it's because I typed it like this, PS3, Xbox One. So this is where, and again, I've typed this out already, so let's just get rid of this. So you've gone, right, I've got my game called Call of Duty. and it's $59.99. Call of Duty is generally pretty pricey. And then you've written it connects to Xbox One, PS3, and then you have your table over here that's Xbox One for $369.99, PS for 400, and I don't know if these are right prices, I'm just guessing. And then you try to say, right, this is connected to Xbox One and PS3, except you probably put PS4, and it connects to both of these. Now, Access is not going to do this. What it's going to do is it's going to look for an entry that says that. It's going to put whatever you type in here and go like that. If you want to reference more than one, you're going to need to split it out, and you're going to need to have an extra table. So you would have your game ID over here, and let's call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you'd have another table in Access, and you'd just put your game IDs, and then you'd put in your Xbox One, PS4, etc. So now when you connect things together, you connect this through this, and then connect it through into this. So you can see, right, my Call of Duty can be used on Xbox One, it can be used on PS4. If we then release it back to Xbox 360, then we can put it on Xbox 360. Then we need to make sure we've got an Xbox 360 in our table over here. That's £1.99. And yeah, so you just need to have this separate table in the middle that just connects your game IDs through to your console IDs. Because you can't have it all in one box, it's just not going to understand it, because it doesn't make any real sense. Yeah, it makes sense in a human brain, but because you haven't told the computer that that's how you want to do it, it's not going to understand it. Then moving on, thank you for that question, Tetris, and I hope your assignment goes well. I've got a question from Shane McCormack saying, say I have a database of information. I would like to create a macro whereby I can select a particular heading in one column and create/run a summary report of the different information contained under each individual heading. I know this information can be obtained using SUMIFS formula and pivot tables. However, SUMIFS are far too manual for large databases, and I'm trying to move away from pivot tables. Perhaps you have a video on this already, which I have not found. If so, please direct me towards it. Firstly, don't move away from pivot tables. They're amazing. I love them. One of the best things to happen in Excel, and we can also use them in Access as well. So they're really good. Don't try and get away from them. If you can do something with pivot tables, normally that's the best solution. Second of all, if you're using large databases, I'm assuming you're either using them in Excel or you're using them in Access. If you're using the Microsoft Access, then great, keep on doing that. If you're not, I would suggest that for large databases you do, because Excel isn't designed for databasing. Microsoft Access is. So I've got some videos on Microsoft Access. If you drop onto my channel, scroll down a bit, you'll see there's a Microsoft Access playlist. Click on this, and if you're just looking to kind of store data and reference it, you probably need to look down to kind of tutorial 20 or so. If you want to understand how to create forms and stuff in it and create user interfaces, go all the way down to 32. Then if you're still looking to represent your data in Excel, you're going to need to do a little bit of VBA. And again, I've got videos for this. So if you go into my Excel 2010 playlist and scroll down to number 71, then you've got database connections, and then how to use SQL to interpret your data. And for large groups of data, SQL is far superior, and you're looking at a far more improved system. So hopefully that answers your questions. Drop onto those videos and check them out. They're well worth the investment in time if you're managing large databases. Anyway, thanks for that question, Shane. The next few questions I'm going to go over in the next video episode, just because I've reached about 10 minutes now, and so I don't want to make these Q&A is too lengthy. So thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you in episode 4.